Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to show you how I insulate my pole barn walls and then how I'm going to have the ceiling prep to go to. What I'm doing is putting 1.5" foam board here between my purlins, and that'll bring it out flush to the face of the purlin. Then I'm going to build a stud wall, and I'm going to use 2x4 walls, 2x4 studs, because when I put fiberglass insulation in the stud cavities, that fiberglass will wrap around behind the 2x4 stud, and it'll help prevent the transfer of that heat between the stud and the purlin to the outside. So it creates a thermal break. The studs here in between the poles aren't anything structural. They're just there to, put my wall covering on, whether that's drywall or plywood, whatever I happen to do here. So what I've done is taken my 1.5" foam board and ripped it on the table saw, which works pretty well, except that the foam board is so light, you got to make sure you keep it held down, nice steady pressure as you push it through the table saw. And now I'm going to make sure I get it back behind that pole. This one I got all the way to the corner. This one I want all the way to the corner. That's going to encapsulate this corner post as best as we can. There'll still be some connection here where the purlins are, and that'll get a little bit of heat transfer, but we want to minimize that as much as we can. So just push that in and get it. You want to try and get as snug of fit as you can. And so the 1.5" white foam is a R6, and then the 6" fiberglass is an R19. So that's going to give me about an R25 in this wall, which is going to be good because I'm planning on keeping this barn heated all winter, so that should help reduce my heating costs. So I'm just going to go through and get all of my white foam put in, and then I'll come back and build these stud walls. Piece of foam sill sealer underneath my 2x6 pressure treated plate. Then I'm going to anchor this down with some Tapcons in a little bit here, but one of the things that I wanted to show you, a little detail. So back in this corner, you can see that there's going to be like a 2" cavity there. The first stud will be here. There's going to be a cavity right there. So what I've done is had some leftover 2" foam from my floor, and I cut that to fit back in there. So now that cavity is filled with insulation, and then I can put my first stud to frame that corner. I'm using my pneumatic framing nailer to toe nail these into the bottom plate, and then also I'll nail into that diagonal up there, but then when I get up in between the 2x12 headers, I'll just nail through the header. So you can see I got that permanent diagonal brace I left in there, so I had to cut these studs to hit that, and then I'll continue that stud above it. Here's a finished look of the stud walls. You can see that around my windows I did use 2x6, and I boxed in around the whole window with those. But the rest of them I used 2x4s to allow that insulation to get in behind there. Now for my insulation, I used R19 fiberglass, and I just cut it to fit, stapled it in place. After I installed this first piece here, this first section, I realized I should be wearing a dust mask. So I ended up getting a dust mask to make sure I didn't breathe in any of those fiberglass particles into my lungs. These insulation baffles come in several styles. You can get them in plastic or cardboard, or I use the foam ones here. And really, they all work the same. The purpose is just to make sure you get that airflow from your eave vent all the way up to your ridge vent. So here you can see, the purpose of using a 2x4 instead of the 2x6. So this way, the insulation from both sides on either cavity will come in behind this and form that insulation barrier, so you don't have your stud up against the purlin, which is just transferring that heat energy right on out. So you also want to make sure that your insulation, your wall insulation, tucks up tight to your vent troughs up there to make sure you get good airflow from your eaves all the way up to your peak. So I'm going to have blown in insulation. You don't want any falling out or falling down the wall, so get that all the way up and nice and tight there. Well, I've got these walls done for the wall insulation, and it's going to be ready for a ceiling in here soon and wall coverings. As you can see up top, I have my vents in, and I have my fiberglass from my walls pushed up tight to those vents, because I'm going to blow in fiberglass up in the ceiling. I don't want any of that to fall out the eave or get down the wall or anything. I want it to stay in place up there in the corners. This is ready for my plywood. I'm going to put plywood on the wall here, and then I can put that garage door up. So hopefully you like this video, give you some ideas on how to insulate your shop or your pole barn. And I'm going to put the playlist for the rest of the pole barn shop series right up here. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. So I'm just kind of rambling here. So actually, I don't know. Don't know what to say today.